From the busy trade corridors of the Horn to the shifting front lines of global power, we bring you the stories that define our time. My name is Maurice Mbugu and this is Africa Focus on KOW TV. We begin tonight with a region in the grip of a rapidly expanding war. The United Nations reports that at least 30,000 people have been displaced in Lebanon following a series of heavy Israeli airstrikes. As the conflict between the United States, Israel and Iran enters another week, the humanitarian toll is mounting. Families are being funneled into collective shelters while thousands of others are reportedly sleeping in their cars along the roadsides. This latest escalation follows the barrage of rockets fired by Hezbollah, which the group described as a strike to avenge the killing of Iran's supreme leader. The nature of this war shifted significantly last Tuesday. Israel confirmed that its ground troops have now crossed into Lebanese territory, a move it framed as a cautionary step to protect civilians near the border. However, the Lebanese army is now coordinating with UN peacekeepers to monitor these incursions closely. In the capital, Beirut, the violence has turned lethal for civilians. At least 11 people were killed when strikes hit a hotel and a residential complex, as Hezbollah continues to target Israeli military bases in retaliation. The international community watches with growing apprehension. What began as a targeted campaign has evolved into a multi-front regional firestorm, leaving the Lebanese people caught in an increasingly severe crossfire. In the Horn of Africa, Somaliland is facing a crisis of a different kind, but one handled with a spirit of strategic partnership. Amidst a severe and prolonged drought, the Ministry of Energy and Minerals has secured a massive humanitarian lifeline. In collaboration with international oil explorers Xidhnow Energy and OPIC CPC Taiwan, the government has delivered 10,300 water tankers to the National Drought Committee. This vital resource is being funneled directly to the Togdil and Saral regions, where the dry spell has been most unforgiving. This initiative is a clear example of how Somaliland is integrating resource development with corporate social responsibility. Officials have noted that these international partners who are actively exploring for oil in these regions are now playing a central role in community resilience. By providing clean and safe water to thousands of families, the government is not just addressing an immediate survival need, it is strengthening the bond between global investors and the local population. It is a demonstration that even as Somaliland looks toward a future of energy wealth, it remains deeply committed to the immediate protection of its people. And now further east, a grave situation is unfolding in South Sudan, where the medical charity Doctors Without Borders, or MSF, reports that 26 of its workers remain unaccounted for. These disappearances follow a string of attacks on medical facilities in Jonglei State, a region that has seen nearly 300,000 people displaced by violence since December. MSF confirmed that a hospital in Lankien was bombed by government forces, while another facility in was raided by unidentified gunmen. The situation is a severe reminder of the cost of internal conflict. Displaced survivors who reached the Ethiopian border have described horrific scenes of violence and a total lack of food and water during their journey. MSF officials have expressed deep concerns, noting that medical workers have been targeted 10 times in the last year alone. This uptick in violence against humanitarian staff is branded by aid groups as an unbearable toll on the very people keeping the health system alive. In a state where network connectivity is almost non-existent, the silence from these 26 colleagues is a chilling testament to the volatile insecurity that continues to haunt the world's youngest nation. Finally, we look toward the United Kingdom, where a significant shift in immigration policy is set to impact thousands from the African continent. Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood has announced that the UK will stop issuing study visas to nationals from Sudan, Cameroon, Afghanistan, and Myanmar starting this month. The British government has framed this unprecedented decision as a necessary crackdown on what it calls widespread visa abuse. According to official figures, a asylum claims from individuals who travel to the UK on legal study visas have more than tripled over the last 4 years. The Home Office argued that this trend poses a threat to the stability of the British asylum system, noting that 13% of all current claims come from people who originally arrived to study in Sudan, where the world's largest humanitarian crisis is unfolding, and in Cameroon, where deep-seated regional friction persists. The news has been met with outright rejection by some advocacy groups. Critics in the UK Parliament have also voiced distrust over the move, warning that these retrospective changes are un-British and could worsen labour shortages in the care sector. As the UK moves toward a more hard-edged diplomatic posture, the path for those seeking education from conflict-torn region has become significantly more narrow. And that report concludes our bulletin for this evening. From the front lines of the Middle East to the drought-stricken plains of Togdir, we remain your eyes on the continent. For the entire Africa Focus team here, my name is Maurice Mbugua. Thank you for watching.